Hello and welcome to the Hornets and Heartbreak podcast. My name is Mark Bernacki and I'm here with my co-host Tim Rogers. What's up, Tim?
What it do, Liquor Mark?
I'm doing pretty well, man. First episode in 2026. How you feeling, Tim?
I'm feeling great, Mark. We're back.
It, it's great to be back. Okay, so for this first episode, we are going to do a improvers draft. So the Hornets are on fire. 26 and 29 here at the All-Star break with this recent stretch of uh, I guess 9 and 1, 10 and 1 over the last 11 games. Um, and we want to talk about which players are leading to that really strong stretch the most, which players are contributing to that the most. Um, and we're going to do that by talking about which players have improved the most from last season. And we're going to do that in a draft. Tim, we didn't even talk about this beforehand. Do you want the first pick?
Um, nah, Mark. Mark, you started this thing back up. You earned the first pick, buddy.
I mean, yeah, and also we could just talk about how this started back up. I
Yeah,
just
yeah, let's
texted
do
you.
that.
I texted you. So do you want to start the podcast again? Um, and I mean, before in 2025, we both just were so tired of talking about the abysmal team that was the Hornets of 2025, 2024, and 2023. It's 3 years in a row of doing it. And both of us were just kind of like losing interest in general in the NBA. But this year, with the excitement of the team, I've been staying up late. I'm in Europe. I've been staying up late to watch the games. And it felt like there was not going to be a better time to bring the podcast back than right now.
Yeah, well, we realized that we were still talking about the Hornets every day, for the most part, and just doing it, just without recording, essentially. And yeah, last January, I also felt bad as well because a lot of our pods just kind of were talking about, well, this player's, I don't really know about this team. I don't know about this. And I think, it just was a lot of negativity. And also, full transparency, I was working at Spectrum, and that's the most depressing job in the world. And the last thing I wanted to do was talk about anything. Um, so yeah, here we are. We're back. We're excited. We're rejuvenated. We've been locked in all season as well. So it's not like we're just popping in here at a good time.
Yeah, I went to many games early in the season. I believe that I only caught one Hornets win and caught like six losses. Um, so yes, we've endured the pain even that happened this year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, let's kick it off. Biggest improver from last year, and for clarity's sake, rookies are not eligible. And players that were not on the team last year also not eligible. So number one pick, Tim, I'm going with Moussa Diabate as the biggest
Hey.
improver from last season. Since being inserted into the starting lineup, he's averaged a plus minus of plus 9.2, which is just ridiculous. And that's since like late December, December like 23rd, I think. Over that stretch, he's averaging 9 points, 10 rebounds, four of which are offensive rebounds, and one block per game. That one block per game kind of feels like two. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised that it was that low. Um, but yeah, it just feels like he's a lot more confident offensively, massively improved as a defender. He still has the same energy, but with sort of a confidence that was lacking a little bit at times last year. Um, and yeah, what do you have on Musa, Tim?
Yeah, last year I feel like we were very high on him but more in like a morbid curiosity kind of way of like, well, this is really cool for a team that sucks, but like this guy can't play more than 20 minutes a game just because of how high how high his energy level is at all times. And no, instead, he just is giving opposing centers fits every night. Looking at you, Shangoon. Yeah, he's actually translated that. Even his on off last year was good, but the fact that he's been able to do this on a team that is playing winning basketball and playing heavy minutes without losing, his ferocious rebounding energy. It's transcending. I mean, he's like one of my favorite Hornets of all time already. Full stop.
Was he also your number one pick, Tim?
He was my number one pick.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I thought maybe you would have Miller number one. But yeah, it's interesting because like I mean, on paper, I'm not sure he's that much better than last season. But vibes and there are some stats also to back it up, which I can name here. Vibes wise, he is a massively different player than he was last season. Like it was almost like a cute story last season. Musa, oh wow, this incredible rebounder, but that's it. Like he's like a one tool player where he gets a lot of offensive boards. Now he contributes on the offensive end. He's still not a good he's not a good offensive player. But he also contributes defensively more. Um, and yeah, I mean, his energy is unmatched. He's shooting 63% from the field compared to 60% last year. And yeah, up from 5.7 points per game last year to 8.2. Another stat for you is that he's doing all of that while turning the ball over less. So his turnovers per 36 minutes are down from 1.8 last year to 1.3 this year, which is actually like a meaningful difference. So shooting more efficiently, scoring more, turning the ball over less, that's a massive improvement on the offensive end, even if he's still not good on offense.
I know I caught myself as I normally do before I go to bed, thinking about the Hornets, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, what would Moose get on the open market? It's just like, we got to start planning for this. Like not that we're building the team around it, but I was like, wow, like I mean, he is the best big man we have had since Al Jefferson. Yes or no?
Yeah, no, I think that's true.
I mean, couldn't be different play styles or anything, but yeah, just as far as like an effective big, better than Zeller ever was, better than Biombo, better than Plumlee. Um, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of like it's nice to have the kind of player where like that other teams are jealous that we have Moose. It's a nice feeling.
I mean, he's averaging almost a double double since being in the starting lineup, which is pretty awesome. Um, yeah, and also I'll say that he actually had like a very hard shoe to fill, where Kalkbrenner at the beginning of the season was this like, oh my God, we found our center of the future, and he's still good. He's still pretty good for a rookie, right? But there was all this hype around Ryan Kalkbrenner, and when Musa got put in the starting lineup, it's kind of like, well, like why are we doing that? I mean, Kalk has been so good, and he's got all these blocks, and he's a great rim protector, shooting the ball super efficiently. So like that was kind of a high bar to clear. I mean, not that high, but a relatively high bar to clear. In that Hornets fans were so excited about Kalk that now it's completely flipped. I think everybody would say that Moose is contributing more to winning than Kalkbrenner, and I mean that's borne out in our winning streak and the stats. But yeah, it's like it's not like he had to replace like Plumlee. He had to replace somebody who was actually playing pretty well.
I love, we truly are back, taking shots at Plumlee right out the gate. Shout out to him for getting that 10-day with the Spurs. But yeah, it is really just night and day. And, like, again, Kalkbrenner found money, second round pick, like, good for a rookie, as you say. But it is really just night and day when, he's on the floor versus Moose. He does his job well. Like, he does what he's asked. But yeah, I mean, like, Moose is just like this ball of energy that comes out. And then, Kalkbrenner, I'd say kindly moves at a glacial pace.
Mhm. Two very different players. Two
Yeah,
very, very different players for sure. Um, and I still have some faith in Brenner as a backup, big, and he's still having a very, very good rookie season for sure.
yeah,
All right, Tim,
absolutely.
who you got
Okay.
number two?
All right. So this is when it gets into I was doing really like perception, a little more vibes, because it's not like there's a big stat difference, and Hornets fans have known. But I'm going number two, LaMelo Ball. Um,
Whoa, whoa, okay.
yeah. So this again, a lot to do with perception, where all the talk was he's a loser, he cannot stay healthy, doesn't play winning basketball. There was even the trade talk coming out. I'm forgetting he's like the fourth newsbreaker And he was like, yeah, Melo's kind of wanting out. He was in the Ja trade discussions, all that stuff. I don't think that he's gotten substantially better as a player or anything. I think that he is just finally healthy and finally has above average teammates or just even average teammates, and not running with, G Leaguers, essentially. I think just his look around the league has really skyrocketed since last time we recorded.
That is 100% true, but I think it's not super rooted in facts. I think it's just that the Hornets are winning. And so he does make everybody else around him better, but is he like actually improved from last season? No. So I get what you're saying that like perception wise and the team is better. But I mean statistically he's down in like every category because he's playing less
Yeah.
minutes. Um, down to 19 points per game compared to like 25 last year. But I mean, there are some stats that I had for him that show that he is actually playing better. So last year he shot 24 field goals per 36 minutes. This year it's 22. So it's 2 shots less per game. And last year he had 8.3 assists per 36 minutes. This year it's 9.6. Um, and you have to do per 36 minutes because he's playing a lot less per game, which by the way is like the most brilliant like coaching decision by us to play him less so that he's not gotten hurt significantly this season. And I mean he's playing better in less minutes. But yeah, so he's passing more and shooting less, which is like kind of the player that he was when we were good in the 21-22 season.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think as Hornet fans, it was always really annoying where it was very clear. The team was like, the offense is good when he played. And he also sometimes was like rolling out there last year with Taj Gibson as a roll man. Like, again, yeah, I don't think that it's like he has made some massive jump, but I'm very happy that I feel like perception wise, people are now like, that LaMelo Ball guy, those shots look kind of crazy, but like, whew, I really say this. I have a 48-year-old coworker who hated LaMelo Ball at the beginning of the season, and now is like, I think that guy's a winning ball player. And it's like I kind of judge that as like my normie, not like super NBA heavy people. The Melo's back, and yeah, the minutes he's healthy. I mean, it was always like, oh, we'll get a good 7 game stretch, then hurt, then back, and who knows how much of that had to do with the fact that we were just trying to lose games the last 3 seasons, essentially. But yeah, I had Melo vibes base number 2. It's also nice that like even though we knew it, as you said, I feel like this happens with every up and coming guard this season where they do shoot less and pass more. As dumb as that sounds, and it has to do with the cast. I don't think that he was ever an inherently selfish player like we talked about when our team was actually good. He would do that, but it's nice that he did slide back into that role and seems very content with it.
For sure. Yeah, I also wanted to just say that he still takes too many shots.
Yeah.
Um, like they're like, yes, all of this is true, is that he's taking less shots, he's passing more, but he could do with a few less shots per game still. So I mean he's taking the most field goals per game out of any player, and that's while playing 27 minutes per game, 28 minutes per game. Um, like, he's taking less shots, but not that many less shots. He could still cut down a little bit more.
Is he the hardest shooter to evaluate in NBA history? Like, I know that's a little hyperbolic, but like, if you told me LaMelo was a top 10 shooter in the NBA, like, just with his shot profile and obviously the way the shot looks, it's not like he's banging like a ton of catch and shoots. Like, I just don't know where he ranks in like shooting hierarchy, if that makes sense.
No, I think he's undeniably an amazing 3-point shooter. But like for example, this year he's shooting better from three, but worse from two than last year somehow.
Yeah.
Like he's shooting 45% from two, which is just not good. Like not good at all. Um
When you put it like that, it's not good.
um okay, so yeah, LaMelo. Work on that finishing around the rim and pass a little bit more. But overall, I like agree. I mean, when he's on the court, our team is so fun and also very, very good. There's that stat that Con Knippel's shooting what, like 55% from three with LaMelo on the court or something ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. I sent you that that post the other day where essentially every player on the team is like, I don't know, 15% more efficient when LaMelo's on the court. Um, he does actually, like, again, unorthodox, but he does just generate great offense. And I do love Mark. It's like the pod never left. The year is 2021. LaMelo needs to finish better at the rim. The year is 2023. LaMelo needs to finish better at the rim. It's gonna be like 2032, and it's like, oh no, man, I saw him working out. I think
He
this
might
is
put
the
on some
year.
muscle. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So next up on the list, I think this player should have been drafted number two, Brandon Miller. I think he's taken more of a leap than LaMelo, but last year he only played 27 games. So he was kind of out of the public eye. I mean, he played less than LaMelo, right? He played 27. LaMelo played 47 games. Um, and he has taken a bit of the third year leap. So when you look at his overall numbers for this season, they're not like drastically different than his numbers last year. But if you kind of zero in on when we started playing better, so start of December to now, Brandon Miller is averaging 21.3 points per game on 38% from three and 47.5% from two. He's getting to the line 3.8 times per game, which is up from last year where he was getting to the line 2.9 times per game. He's averaging one more free throw attempt per game. And I would say that in this stretch of games where, in the stretch where we've been winning games, Brandon Miller has been the best player on the team, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
I
agree.
mean, last year, there were little stretches in his rookie year and his second season where you could say that that might be the case. But this, for me, is the first like extended period of time where Brandon Miller has been the 1A. And I'm not saying that it's going to stay that way. I think that we have a very interesting debate for a later podcast, like who's the 1A, B, and C on this team, right? Between Con, Brandon, and LaMelo. But in this particular stretch, I think that Brandon Miller has been the best player on the team. And yeah, his numbers are actually not that different from like last season. It's kind of funny. Like it feels like he's playing so much better, but his numbers are not that much different. Just a little bit more efficiency. But again, vibes based. Brandon Miller feels like he's taking the reins.
Non derogatory. Miller has great 9 for 21 games. Um, I think this comes down to the facts of, like, I guess, anchoring, where I've just always been a bigger Miller fan. Like, I know we've been, going back and forth, not like bad debates, like you were ever like really down on him. I just always thought that Miller was really good, and I thought that he'd be the best player on the team. So I guess that's why, like, seeing it happen, I was like, oh yeah, man. Well, like that's what's supposed to happen. I guess that's why I had him third.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's from where we're coming from, and I'm higher on LaMelo, so I had him third. It makes sense that would be the case. What have you seen from Brandon Miller this year?
I've seen the Brandon Miller that I kind of always hoped would come. Like, genuinely where like he just fits like a glove on offense. Like I don't really care about the stuff that he does not do. Like I'm not like, oh, okay, like I kind of wish that, his handle was a little better. Like, no, I just don't care. Like he's a lethal shooter. And I will give him such props. And I know this is like an old person thing to say, late in games, because we've had a good run of close games outside of all those blowouts. Where Brandon Miller the first 2 years definitely would have just settled for like an 18-footer. And now every time with like 3 seconds left on the shot clock, I'm like, oh, dude, he's got to get this off. And no, he just glides to the rim. He can just really get to the rim. People are so afraid of that mid-range shot. Like he's not a Paul George. He really is just his own player. And it's very clear like this works. And like this can work for years to come. Like he can just, still a little rough around some of the edges, but like, really close to like not a finished product as though like he doesn't have room to grow or like get better. But no, he's already like, I think he should have been an all-star contention.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I would agree with that. And he's already played more games than last season. So health also, can factor in here. The fact that he's been able to stay a little bit more healthy and I mean, we can call it like it is like I don't think he's going to ever add like elite passing. That's not going to happen, right? Like he's not a great passer at all. And he is more in this sort of Paul George um, archetype, right? I mean, that was his favorite player. I mean, KD archetype, where you want him to be as good of a three-level scorer as possible. But he's never going to be a good passer
No,
or,
no,
or above average level passer, I should say, in the NBA.
yeah. I mean, he's not like Harrison Barnes out there, just like unable to process anything. But yeah, I mean, he would make 29 other teams in the NBA better, just like right off the bat. He's like a perfect player that you'd want for any team, just as far as like fit. Um, nah, man, like I really, yeah, like I don't let's see him being an MVP or anything like that. Um, but no, yeah, just exactly like what we would have hoped for after watching, him in his first summer league, his only summer league. I guess he played one game in the second summer league. Um, but yeah, no, all in all, Brandon Miller, good for him. Still has great blocks, and seems to be a big part of the reason that we just started blowing the doors off people. And think about the beginning of the season where we were like, oh, dude, is he going to miss this entire season as well with that shoulder injury? And then to come back and do this, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, and he's doing this all with like probably some sort of like shoulder surgery pending in the off season.
Yeah,
Like I'm just speculating, but like I mean, he wears that thing every single game. I
exactly.
mean,
And it just seemed like, oh man, like I was like feeling bad for him. I was like, God, this guy has so much potential. Just like gets these just bogus injuries every year that like, it's not like he doesn't seem fragile. But not for him to come out and do this. Good for him. We got an Eastern Conference Player of the Week, which, when other teams players get that, I'm just like, all right, big deal. Why don't you guys grow up? Like, why don't you focus on the championship? When the Hornets get it, I'm just like, oh, dude, what a genius voting body. These people really get it.
all right, Tim, who you got next?
So not really as much improvement, but almost by default, I would have Miles Bridges.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is another one where it's like improvement, or are they just playing with better players?
Yeah, I think that it is more improvement. I also think it kind of has something to say about the other players below him. Um, yeah, like I mean, he fit into it. I was kind of worried that because he's been big man on campus pretty much since he came back from suspension, due to the fact that Miller and LaMelo have been hurt this whole time. I don't think he's made like massive changes. He seems to actually like care on defense now, which like I don't blame him because I mean the team was winning 20 games. So I don't think he's made like some crazy strides or anything. I think the Miles Bridges game is still pretty much 8 for 17, 2 of 5 from three, and 2 of 3 from the line. Um, but he's done it within a system that has really grown around him, and like not that it's made him obsolete or anything, because obviously that's not the case. But yeah, he's no longer the number one. Like I get to just ISO and take an 18-footer. Like in a perfect world, he's our fourth option.
And that's exactly what he is.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so he looks a lot better as a fourth option than a first option. He's shooting more efficiently from both three and from two. Actually like I think like 2% better in each. Um, more of his shot attempts are assisted on a lot more, maybe like 10% more, I think. Sorry, I didn't write down exact numbers for Miles there. But I do have some numbers here. Cut down on the deep mid-range too, to your point, Tim. So last year he shot 7% of his shots from 10 feet to the 3-point line. This year that's down to 5.5%. So 1.5% decrease in his number of shots in the deep mid range too. And he's also shooting 1% more of his shot attempts as dunks. Tim, who do you think has more dunks, Brandon Miller or Miles Bridges this year?
My heart says Brandon Miller.
Yeah, it's Miles, but I think if you made it per game, it would be Brandon, because Brandon has 33 and Miles has 44. Um, but it does feel like he's regained a bit of that bounce, and I don't know if that's just teams don't have the resources to guard him like they did last year. That's probably what it is. But it feels like he's like kind of back to that 21-22 kind of 22 athleticism.
Yeah, because we really harped on him, especially me. Um, just like losing all that bounce. I don't think he doesn't have it like throughout the game, but he's had a couple alley oops and dunks this year where I was kind of like, oh, okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
maybe I spoke a little too soon. And he doesn't break them out all the time, which is understandable. He's a lot older, and I mean, a good amount older, relative with NBA dog years. Um, but yeah, like some of that bounce that I thought was just gone forever. It's like, all right. And yeah, like you said, good cutting down on some of those just terrible, egregious shots. And also, like, I mean, we'll talk about Con another episode. Like, would it have been that surprising if I told you, like, a year ago, oh yeah, we're gonna have this rookie and he's gonna be like really good and everything, but like, yeah, Miles just like doesn't want to pass him the ball, or like, Miles like doesn't want to do this, still wants to do the same thing. Like there was that chance that he just wasn't really gonna go with the flow, and instead, he's worked it out, and you know, everyone knows that's ever listened. Miles not exactly my favorite player.
Um, yeah, for sure. I have one more point on Miles is that to that same point that he's sort of ceded to the other three players, is that he started out the year leading the team in scoring and now he's fourth. So I mean, that's props to him for like sort of giving up that role, where he was the number one scorer on the team. 20, I mean, I think it was like 21, 22 points per game. Now he's down to 18. But that's what's best for the team to win games. So good job.
Yeah,
Next up on the list, Tim, I have pretty much the only other real improver from our team, Josh Green. And I actually I had him fourth over Miles. Just because I think his improvement, it's not as impactful, but it's wider. It's a more noticeable improvement where like Josh Green was our least favorite player on the team last year. He was really, really bad. And he like refused to shoot when he was open and missed felt like he always was missing like shots, open shots. This year, his effective field goal percentage is up 8 percentage points. And he's shooting 44% on threes, Tim. Um, and just somebody who went from he was starting for us most of last year, so that has something to do with it. But it felt like he was noticeably bad, and like sort of a summary of how things were going for the Hornets last season. Too, this player's actually helping us win games.
yeah, I agree. And also, just fully admit it, first flub of the podcast, I totally I just missed his name. He definitely is my number four above Miles. I think you can make the case, advanced stats wise, he was the worst offensive player in the league last year. Um, like I think he's like was like a negative 3.7 offensive box plus minus. I don't think anyone else was like even negative three. And this year, when he gets on the court, I am pumped to watch Josh Green, which I just never thought. I remember, like being excited and like the way that Mavs fans would talk, like this and that. Like, I don't care that he shot like 40% from three last year, like 44, all fake news. Um, Now, man, Josh Green, like that Pistons game, he was a big part of like why we almost came back and won. Like he's pretty electric on defense. Yeah, he would definitely be number four. Shout out to Josh Green. I know it was just a circumstance thing. People put, the Hornets, way too much pressure on him to do anything with the basketball. But now that he's in his perfect role, he's a blast to watch. I can't believe that I like Josh Green.
Yeah, I mean, he's been back for 31 games. He missed the whole start of the season. Um, and like I was sort of like cautiously optimistic, like, okay, when is this going to end? And I still would say that I'm cautiously optimistic. Like, are we going to get the Josh Green of last season at some point? Um, because it feels like this hot shooting has to cool off a little bit. But I mean, if you just compare this season to last season, it's night and day, man. Also, I mean, it feels like he's getting a decent amount of steals. Um, just his cut out the things that annoyed us about him last year.
Yeah, and I
Um,
mean, last year it was frustrating because it was like you just played 120 minutes in a row and only took one shot. Like we had
yeah,
nobody. Like, and now it's like if he plays, you know, say Miles is out or whatever, or you like for some reason he's having to play 35 minutes. If he takes three shots, like I don't really care.
hmm yeah. It's another reflection of just like how important it is to have real NBA players on your team. Because Josh Green as the fifth option or fourth option on a team, horrible. Josh Green as the eighth option, amazing.
Yeah, this guy's a basketball savant. Yeah, no, good for Josh Green. Yeah, I would also have him above Miles. As I'm looking at my list. All right, so we got Josh Green. Now let's get in the nitty gritty. You have anything else for Josh?
No, yeah. Who you got next?
All right, and again, this is just based on where I thought this was going to be. I think the last thing I said about this guy was that I don't know if he'll ever become an NBA player again. That's Grant Williams. Um, Not that he's played a ton this year. Just when he had that knee injury last year, was it torn ACL, torn MCL? I was like, for this guy with like this level of athleticism, like I just kind of think, I think the writing's on the wall. And instead, he's come back and like he's just been Grant Williams. Not quite as good, obviously not getting the same run, but that Pelicans game, the outlier offensively and everything. But I definitely thought, and I was just wrong and dumb. I thought that he was just cooked.
Okay, so I hear you, but he's not been very good this year. He's shooting 36% from the field, 27% from three. Um, he like feels like he's playing at least um similar defense to what he was playing last season, but offensively, I think it's easy to get swept up in the good vibes and be like, "Oh, Grant's been good too," but he hasn't. He hasn't been very good on paper.
No, I don't think so. But I
Yeah.
also thought that he was going to miss this entire season.
So yeah, he's sort of an injury most improved because he's back at
I'm
least.
doing I'm doing perception improved. That's
Perception
that's what I
improved.
would.
Grant is sixth, I would say. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And I mean, realistically, should I have a younger guy down here that potentially we draft in the top 10? Yeah. But I was really mean to Grant Williams last time we talked him out, and it was like pretty much that just write it off. He's done. So yeah, just my personal perception from last time we podcasted a year ago to now. That's where I'm at. Stats
Tim's
be damned.
like, I talk so much shit about this team that I need to be so nice to everybody.
I mean, pretty much. I was just like, Grant Williams, pack up your shit, buddy. Like, go be an assistant coach. Like, he was posting the Batman stuff, and I was like, dude, shut up. Like, you're done. And yeah, you know, not even shooting 40%, whatever. But yeah, I was brutal toward, I'm making amends.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say that the 36% from the field number was like kind of surprising. I did not, I hadn't looked at his basketball reference page yet, and was pretty surprised to see that. But I would say he just kind of has blended in with the good vibes, and it's like, oh, Grant made a three, but no, yeah, he's not shooting the ball well at all.
And
Um,
I think that's an important thing. You do note when Grant Williams makes a three. I know I was the one that chose this slot, but I'm like, when a three goes in from Grant, I'm like, all right, good. All right, that's found money. That is found money.
well, because last year he was like what, like 40%. I mean, he was a very good 3-point shooter. 2 years ago at least.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think that it's like, yes, this win streak definitely would not have happened without Grant Williams to steady the ship or anything like that. But you know, that's just that's just one person's opinion.
All right, so now for a player that's actually improved from last season, T. Salon.
Yeah,
And I from the opposite side of the token, we just talked about Grant Williams, who we're surprised that he has such low field goal percentage. I'm surprised that T-John has such good field goal percentage. He's shooting 44% from three this season and 59% on twos. Um, and that's just kind of like ridiculous efficiency. That's really, really, really good efficiency by the numbers. Eye test wise, Tijon is still really bad. And he is still pretty bad. He's not getting much run in this win streak. But there's something to be said about that, Tim. I don't think we can give up hope yet. It's only year two for Tijon. I think that there's still a chance for this guy to contribute something down the road.
I I agree with you, and that's also kind of the reason I want to pick him because it's not that I don't have anything nice to say, but yeah, it's like, all right, you no longer look like the worst NBA player I've ever seen in my life. Um, like I tried to be a little more positive, but yeah, like I don't care about any of the percentages. I don't think any, um, hopefully it does stick and everything. I thought, this is an embarrassing thing to say, but we were texting about him during summer league, and when he threw that alley oop, we were just like, Tijon back? Like what is going on? I don't know. I like hopefully next year, like he can be an eighth man. I don't care what any of the stats say. I just don't think that Tijon is a good shooter. I hope that that does turn out to be false. Um, just me personally, my eye test. And again, like I don't mean this to sound like super dismissive or anything, but like he looks more coordinated this year. Like that's cool. Like he no longer looks like a baby deer on ice. So that's where I stand with Tijon. What do you any pushback on that, Mark? Do you
No,
do you,
no, no,
do you
no.
believe the
I
stats?
agree. Well. I mean, the exercise was who's improved the most, and Grant Williams is worse than last year, and T. Salon is better. So I mean, that's why I had him. That's why I had him ahead of Grant Williams. I'm not saying he took some massive leap, but he is definitely better. He's definitely better than he was last year. Um, there were moments earlier in the season where you can see the vision exactly like you said of him becoming a role player on the team. Um, and this is probably like if anybody who is not a Hornets fan was listening to this, they'd be like, they really think T-John might be okay. They're really saying good things about T-John. So I'm gonna say that and keep it real. I mean, most people in the NBA think that that was a horrible draft pick, and it was, but he still could be an NBA player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Don't think that Grant Williams comment slid on by me. I know you're not a fan of the pick. Again, I'm going off perception. I'm going off just from the last time a year ago today, let's say, where I thought this person would be versus where they are and how they're viewed.
All
Perception.
right. So I mean, the last
Let's
player.
let's talk about your guy. Talk about your
I mean,
favorite player on the team.
I don't think we even he even like really. I had Trey Mann and Grant Williams in honorable mentions because I don't think either of them improved. Trey Mann definitely got worse. Definitely got worse.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure, especially the first like month last year, he was probably like, man, I kind of like found my NBA home. I'm cooking. I'm this, and now every time Trey Mann comes in the game, I get Brad Wanamaker flashbacks.
Yeah, it's tough, man. He's definitely lost a good amount of his athleticism. And you have to think that it has something to do with the back. He was out all last year with a back injury. And he started last season, first 13 games, 14 points per game, 40% from three. He looked like a bona fide like six man of the year kind of candidate, like in the again, it's like first 10 games of the season. So
So take that with a grain of salt. But that's what he looked like. And then this year he does not look like he should be in the NBA. He's actually taken the mantle from T-John, I would say, as the player who looks the most out of place on the court. Um, he has occasional good, but when Trey Man does something good, you're like, oh, Trey, good job. Like like most of the time, it's a turnover, it's a missed shot. Um, he's hesitant to shoot sometimes. Uh, yeah, it's rough. I'm pulling for him to get it together, but unfortunately, I mean, we have him on this contract that we probably shouldn't have done. And he's basically out of the lineup when we're healthy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I know Grant Williams is also sucks, so it's not fair for me to stick up for him and bash Trey Man. Um, but like, would Trey Man play on the Kings? Would he play on the Wizards? Would he play on the Jazz?
Yeah, it's kind of just an awkward situation because we paid him a decent amount of money, and so we're like, we got to see what he's got. But no, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't play on a lot of teams right now. I mean, I'm wondering if like playing is the right thing for him to be doing. Like, is there some sort of rehab he should be doing instead? Um,
I no, I think I mean, I'm not saying he can like never be an NBA player again or anything like that, but I think it does tie in with Grant Williams, where like I feel like for a long time people were kind of just like, injuries in the NBA doesn't matter anymore. We have such great, they're like, oh man, torn ACL, you can even come back from a torn Achilles. And that's why, like, for Grant Williams, I was like, I don't know, for a guy like right on the precipice of NBA athleticism, knee injury could be a big thing. Like, you mess up your back like that as a guard, I mean, he might just be cooked.
yeah, yeah, and we're rooting for him to turn it around, but it hasn't been there. He hasn't found his role.
Yes, in
Um,
fact, bro, that's nice, Mark. That's a kind way to put it.
I mean, I think it's like um half injury, so not 70% injury, 30% like what is he supposed to do on this team? Like when there was Colin Sexton, like where does Trey Man really fit? Like he's kind of supposed to come in and get some secondary like playmaking, but Colin Sexton's doing that. So where is Trey Man's role? And I think that there hasn't been a single stretch where he's fit in with this team.
No, no, I feel bad for him. Sometimes, that there's always the player left behind. Like, I mean, the joke with Draymond, which obviously it's not really come to fruition at all, but like, you know, the dynasty starts once you're gone to Dylan Brooks. It's like, Trey Man, even healthy, I feel like your destiny is kind of to be like a hot shooter on a 30-win team.
Mm. All right. I'm saying all that, and somehow he shot the eighth most shots on the team this season. Anyways, um,
Just charity shots. Good for him.
okay, man. We have like an extended pour one out segment. KJ Simpson, Mason Plumlee, Pat Connaughton. Who am I missing? Is that it? That might be it. Pour one
Um,
out for Tim's take that Liam McNeely is going to be the best rookie on the team.
oh yeah, dude. I remember watching Summer League. Josh Green was sweating. Josh Green was like, "Damn, brother, all my minutes." I still stand by Liam. I stand by it. He will be good. But yeah, an absolutely brutal season for him. But yeah, I'm so happy we were not recording during Summer League. The things I would have said.
Uh, I mean, Liam, like if this were last year, we would be so excited to have Liam McNeely, and that's so sad. But yeah, he's definitely been the fourth best rookie this season.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. Next year. Next year is going to be his year.
All right, man. That's all I have. What do you have for Media Corner?
Ah, the real reason the pod came back. Um, I have a film by Edward Yang. It is called Y I. And it is the story of a family over the course of 1 year, experiencing some highs and lows, and they kind of go their disparate paths. Some people tunnel into work, some people try to find love, some people just run away altogether, and some people are blissfully unaware. But you know what? After that year wraps up, they come together, they're still a family, they love each other. And that's me and you with the Hornets, Mark. That's us. We can run from them, but we always come back. Everyone check out Edward Yang. Yee yee.
I don't have anything for Media Corner prepared, Tim. Uh, Kevin Durant's burner. That's my Media Corner. And him saying that the Hornets have a better young core than the Rockets. Let's see how this pans out on Thursday.
We're at the end of the episode now. Have you seen the website that someone made, the KD files, where they fashioned it after the infamous files that are currently released, and they have it organized in the same way?
No.
I'll send you the link. It's absolutely insane that someone made it.
That's hilarious. If you don't know what we're talking about, Google it.
The
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Durant file is super clear.
Please leave us a 5-star review. And tell your friends, share us on Instagram. You can check us out at Hornets Podcast on Instagram and on X. We're back, Tim.
Yeah, play it in your office, play it in your warehouse, ride around the city with your windows down, blasting it. Do what you can. But no, Mark, it's great to be back. I'm excited. I love the Hornets, and I'm glad we're back at it, buddy.
It's been real, Tim. Peace.
Peace.